What is going on? I'm Zedmont, and yes, I realize this is not Boom Beach. We'll get there in a moment. Before you start sipping on the haterade, this is a segue. We're going to be talking about battle passes, specifically for Boom Beach. Now, Brawl Stars recently implemented this, and what it is, for those of you who are unaware, have been living under a rock, it is a bunch of quests that get updated every single day with some things that you can do, whether it's defeat 24 enemies in a duo showdown, or win 6 games in Brawl Ball. Now, this is not something that Supercell invented. This was invented by Dota back in 2013 or something like that. As you can see, it's also in other games such as Zombs Royale, it's in Fortnite, it's basically in all of the major games right now. And one game that it's not in is, of course, Boom Beach. Now, the reason for that is I don't think Boom Beach could support it. I'm thinking that there are just not enough troops, not enough cool things going on, not enough variety. I mean, what can you do? Like, buy a trader crate, you could potentially buy some raw crystals, you could boost a tribe, you could attack bases using riflemen or Zookas, or they could obviously implement the Mega Crab and stuff like that. My concern is that they've just not shown they can do things well enough, as far as we don't get good trades or tribes. The tribes come once every 2 weeks, and they're not super exciting. The prototype troops come once every little while. They're not super exciting, so let's just keep looking for an operation attack while I keep trying to flesh out this subject. We are doing dead end here, as you can tell. Now, one other thing they obviously could implement is doing an operation attack, but would they put it so you had to solo something? And there's only so many solos available. Speaking of solos, look at that. That is mind-blowingly awesome. That's going to take a bit more planning that I've got ready for myself. Speaking of torrent, I want to show you a torrent opening attack, actually. Let's go back a couple operations ago and find a player that has just rejoined. This attack got 55 cells. Now, maybe it could be number of cells, number of buildings. That would make more sense from a, look at that. See that marking? That's when you know someone has an idea of how to play the game, when they start marking buildings before they drop troops. I love, love, love it. And this lady I've gone for beers with lives in the same town as me. Have not gone for beers since, look at that, flash kill. Boom, moving right along. Anyways, have not gone for beers since she moved to the same town as me, so I'm feeling a little bit guilty, but watch this. Shockity, shockity, shock. So, I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about the idea of the Brawl Pass, the Boom Pass, whatever you might call it. Now, if you think there's a game that did it before Dota, then I would love to hear that as well. I'm fairly sure Dota was the first of the first, but there are obviously other games. I think Fortnite kind of made it famous. That was where it got on everyone's radar, but so many games are doing it right now, and it's just an optional way for games to get money. And there's obviously the free pass and there's the pay pass, and on the Brawl Stars front, I went the pay pass. I don't even need the stuff. I don't care about the stuff. I just like having something to do. On the free pass, you have like 2 things to do a day. On the pay pass, you have like 6 things to do a day. And whether that would require instant training in Boom Beach or not, ran out of time there. So bad. It's so unfortunate. Could have gotten so much more, but loved that opening attack. I'm not going to do that attack, for the record. I don't have that underneath my belt. Would have to study that attack way too much to see what was going on there. Now, can I walk this walk? Probably, maybe. I love doing the Waterloo walk simply because it looks amazing. You know what? Let's do some boosting. We'll get in, do the Waterloo attack. Then I will come back and maybe do one more operation attack with another account, simply because operation attacks have kind of been forgotten by Supercell. I feel like operations are kind of left in the dust. It's all about Mega Crab now. With Mega Crab, it just seems like it's just, they don't do a heck of a lot of work with Mega Crab. It just comes in and goes, and that's kind of the way Boom Beach has gone. Doesn't seem like they're doing a lot of work in the background. Sure, they set up the tech tree for warships, but otherwise PvP runs itself, operations runs itself, Mega Crab they put in the boosts and then it runs itself. Not a lot of work. I'm curious. I would love to see how many developers we actually have working live on Boom Beach, because it doesn't feel like there's a lot. It might be that there's like 50 of them and we just don't know that, but we just don't know it is what it comes down to. So I'm going to throw a barrage here. I don't think I needed to use a barrage there, but it only costs me a little bit extra GBE and I boosted. So we're going to go like this. We're going to drop all our troops over in here, and we're going to try our bestest to keep talking about the whole idea about the Boom Pass. I would assume it'd be called a Boom Pass. Now, some games, such as Brawl Stars, I believe, said that they would never had a Boom Pass, but there's just so much revenue to be made on these things that how do games turn it away? So in my mind, at this point, if Boom Beach does not do a Boom Pass, it kind of means that Boom is forgotten and no one cares and there just isn't enough variety. I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say, because to me, it kind of comes across that all of the games are doing Brawl Boom Passes, whatever you want to call them. So if a game's not doing them, that's not a good sign. I somehow managed to hit all of those mines. I don't think I've ever hit those mines in the history of doing Waterloo. And now I've got like 6 troops left, which is not a good place to be. At least we can clear the mines. Let's get some shocks. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't have enough shocks. So we cleared the mines. Yay us. Not a great start. If this was my one chance to get my Boom Pass, maybe there'd be a mine clearer or a complete and utter whiff. The fact that I got 0 buildings and did a tiny bit of damage. I guess maybe they could do damage to core, but then they'd have to calculate damage to core directly and damage to core indirectly, and it would just be a mess. You know what? Let's load some warriors. Maybe, you know what? Let's go like this. Forget it. Let's just get some bombardiers out. We got a bunch of gold. Let's keep moving forward. So I guess this is one of those ones where I don't have answers, and I don't tend to enjoy putting out videos where I don't have the answers. I've got some suggestions, of course. I mean, there's lots and lots of options. I just don't know if there'd be enough A, interest, B, support. Just the fact that we can't get good trades, we can't get decent tribes. The tribes keep having things like, for example, when the Grenadier Life Leech obviously wasn't going to work. We've known it wasn't going to work forever, but then we don't get it. So if you think Boom Beach could support this, and if you think there's enough interest from the developers with this movie work, please do hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, by all means, if you think this is a terrible, terrible idea, would also like to hear that, because there are certain things that have been ruled out for Boom Beach, such as walls, and then they came out with barbed wire. So a lot of the things that have been ruled out have come back around. I can't think of the others that have come around right about now, but I know there are a number of them, and my brain is just not working due to trying to teach my kids schooling. My wife is back to work, in case no one cares, but my wife is back to work, so I've been stuck working, homeschooling, and putting Boom Beach content out. That's when my Boom Beach content is late. Wife is home from work, just took the kids for a bike ride. So if you're wondering why my videos are coming out 4-5 hours later than normal, it's because I'm just drowning in children, is the best possible way to describe it. Let's keep moving forward, though. Now, my kids, speaking to that little segue we had there, my kids love the Brawl Pass. The idea of opening chests in Brawl Stars means that you have the opportunity to get stuff, whether it's like skins or pins or whatever the heck it is. That's the stuff that Boom Beach doesn't have. We're not getting new troops via that. We're not getting new skins via that. We're not getting the emoticon, the emojis, or the emotes, that's what I'm trying to say, or like all of the different things that these games are bringing. Boom Beach doesn't really have any of them at this point, so I don't think the Boom Pass will work for Boom Beach. I think it would be uninspiring at this point. Maybe if they made some changes to the game, there is the potential, and perhaps absolute reach here. Perhaps that's why they've started to bring in the prototype troops, because maybe you could unlock prototype troops that way along the pass road, whatever the heck they call that thing. along the season, I don't think so. All of the different tiers and things don't really have a purpose as far as Boom Beach is related. I don't think, but again, I'm very much open to you guys' thoughts if you think it could be done, and if you think it could be done with the amount of resources that Supercell seems to be putting towards Boom Beach. Personally, I don't think it would work, but I figured, you know what, let's put the video out, get some people chatting about it. I know that I've seen people chat about it on Discord, and I kind of dismissed it, and then it came out in Brawl Stars, and I played it in Brawl Stars, and it kind of got me a bit intrigued, because I really, really do like the different quest items, as Brawl Stars likes to call it. I like ticking off checkboxes, and again, I also like achievements. I've got, if we go into here, as you can see, every single achievement knocked off. I am one who likes to max things. I like to get all the achievements. I like to tick the checkboxes. So the idea of a Boom Pass does appeal to me, but I just don't think it would work with the game, and I don't think they could pull it off very well, which isn't necessarily a slight towards the developers, but I guess it kind of is in a little bit. Like they do a lot of good things, but the detail-oriented stuff gets implemented and then sort of gets forgotten, such as the tribes. These tribes are just awful, awful, awful. The trader, always awful. And let's have a look inside the shop offers. Don't have any shop offers at the moment, so I can't rip on those. But trying to be positive, just had to point out some things that don't go terribly well. And I'm sure the community manager is fighting for us, and I'm sure the devs are fighting for us. I just don't feel like Supercell, maybe Boom Beach just doesn't have the resources because it's not doing well enough, or I really don't know. Don't have any info behind that curtain. So anyways, that's it for me. This video took a turn for a little bit towards the negative. Hopefully you guys can forgive that and accept that I'm just trying to put this at face value. But anyways, that's all for me. Boom Beach Boom Pass, Boom Beach Battle Pass, whatever you think it would be called. Also throw that down there in the comments, and I shall talk to you soon. As always, thanks for coming in. I'm Zedma. Peace.